Hi guys, welcome back. Well, I've got the spindle refitted into the headstock from the into the large pedestal grinder that I've now converted to a headstock for the vintage wood lathe. The brackets that I made previously, those fit in nicely now. I've drilled and tapped 2 holes that go through, the bolts go through the original 2 holes that bolted the bed to the original legs. Drilled and tapped those, put 2 12mm bolts through. I may have put an additional one through the centre, but it's got 2 for the time being. Spindle's back in. I've got the register plate screwed onto the 2 flats that I drilled, machined onto the spindle previously, and those are that's held in place with 2 grub screws. The spindle adapter, that's screwed onto the original thread, the metric thread, onto the spindle, and that's tied up against the register plate now. This thread now matches the faceplate and original 3-jaw chuck that came with the lathe. Imperial thread on this. I've just been machining this piece down. On this side, let me just move the camera over. On this end, I've fitted the flange, refitted the original flange. I thought that would give me a hand wheel for turning the spindle, so I'll put that back on. I've just machined this spacer plate down now. This goes over the spindle, and then there's a left-handed nut, the original nut, that goes onto the end of the spindle. I haven't put a thrust bearing onto the spindle yet. It's just using the original 2 plain bearings. I may find as I come to use it that I need to fit a thrust bearing at this end, so when I'm turning, the spindle isn't being pushed back into headstock this way and locking up the bearing. So we'll see. the original faceplate that came with the lathe, so this thread now suits that. So that's that fitted. And that's the same thread on the back plate for this 3-jaw chuck. We're starting to stick out quite a way now from the headstock, which I'm a little concerned about. Obviously, the farther this way I come, the more runouts I'm going to get. Let's see how it goes. I was hoping to try and retain the original spindle, just in case at some stage I even want to change it back to being a pedestal grinder. I may at some stage make a new spindle for this and machine the thread on this side to suit the chucks that I've got. So doing that, I could probably save about 5-6 inches stick out from it, but that's possibly a future project. But for the time being, I'm keen to get the thing up and running, see how it works. Stability wise, it's absolutely rock solid now, which was one of the main reasons for doing this. Yeah, it's there's no movement at all in it now. I've had to jack the base of the pedestal grinder up to match the height for the tailstock, and I've machined 4 feet with adjustable screws on. So I have raised it up, and the centre of the chuck now lines up with the tailstock, so I'm pleased about that. So yeah, getting to a stage where I can ready for giving it a try. Well guys, now that I'm a pedestal grinder down, I'd like to start making more use of the two belt sanders that I've got. The only trouble with this one is there's no tool rest for it, so I've been thinking of ways around of fitting a tool rest on without doing too much damage to the frame itself. What I've come up with, I've had this tool rest lying around that I made a while ago, and what I've done, I've got a large lathe tool that I'm never likely to use on my machines, so all I've done, I've drilled a 12mm hole at this end, put a bolt through, and the bolt then goes through one of the existing holes. And the idea being the arm that supports the bottom wheel, this will sit onto there, and then I've just put a G clamp on it that then will bolt it into position. With bolt at this side means I can adjust this then to alter the angle of the tool rest. There's already a slight slope on the belt itself. It's not vertical like the other one. So what I've done, I've made an extra plate to fit on the top, and with a cutout in it to clear the belt, and then that gives me a bit more play to move the tool around to whatever angle I need to complete the grind on it. So I'm more or less finished now with these chisels I've been making. This is going to be the round carbide tip on. What I need to do now is grind some clearance on the end and the two sides, so once the chisel's presented, it'll give me enough clearance at the end and the two sides for the carbide tip to do its work. So I think we're about the right angle there, so I'm going to give that a try first. I don't need too much up. decided to make another spindle adapter for the self-centering 4-jaw chuck that I've got, guys. Not quite sure, can't quite remember what thread that is in there. It might be M33, but I'm not sure. But I've still got a nice chunk of this piece left, so I'm going to make an adapter to go onto the original spindle thread, and then just reduce that down to suit this chuck. So that should reduce the stick out quite considerably for using this one. So that's that piece. Got to decide on the control for it yet. It's a 3-phase motor that I've got in this, and I've picked up another frequency drive for it. I'm undecided whether to mount that onto the front of the pedestal, or mount that remotely out of the way, and then reuse this on-off switch that I originally had on the pedestal grinder. I'll probably go that way, and then I can keep the frequency drive away from all the dust. Well, I've got one last problem to overcome, guys, and I wonder if you can guess what it is. Yeah, it's avoiding the temptation of refitting one of these grinding wheels onto this side. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.